Hi, this is Pastor Mike Stallings with a recap of this past Sunday's sermon when we wrap up the series, Why God? In his Sermon on the Mount, Jesus makes an interesting statement. He says that God makes the rain to fall on the just and the unjust. This is an interesting statement for a couple of reasons. First, God presumes that there is indeed injustice in the world. Jesus doesn't try to ignore it or wish it away. No, there are unjust people walking around right alongside those who are just. And yet, God is still taking care of the earth. There is still provision and providence. God still loves this earth that is populated with both good and bad people so much that God continues to help it flourish. That's an indication of grace and an act of hopeful love on God's part. The world isn't perfect, but God still loves. And that's the message that Jesus puts forth, not just in the Sermon on the Mount, but in every aspect of his life. How do we respond to injustice, evil, and suffering? With love. It's admittedly a big ask. It doesn't come naturally to us, especially when we're in the midst of pain, suffering, and tragedy. We get a clue of how to respond when God seems absent from us from the psalmist in Psalm 130. We can almost sense the agony of the writer when we read the words, "Out of the depths I called to you. Oh God, hear my voice." The important lesson is that even though it felt as if God were at the far end of the universe, the psalmist is still trying to communicate. There was enough faith to try. What we are to do when experiencing personal suffering is to hold on to whatever slim thread of faith there is, continue to have communion with God, and to respond to the situation with as much love as we can muster, even if we can muster only a little. However, there may be an even bigger ask of disciples. Our experience teaches us that neither bad times nor good times last forever. Life, as they say, is filled with ups and downs, mountaintops and dark valleys. When we are in the midst of good times, when God is felt most closely and profoundly, our responsibility as disciples of Christ is to be Christ to those who aren't seeing Christ. Rather than relax in the good times, we're to be light in someone's darkness, agents of peace for someone's turmoil, and to always point to Christ by being his hands and feet when we see chaos and suffering happening to others. Thanks for watching this recap. If you've enjoyed this, then be sure to check out our other playlists on YouTube where you can find past sermon series about why God, why worry, why rest. We hope that you'll subscribe. We hope that you'll stay in touch with us. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.